Covering HILO to Kona, Hawaii to Naalehu, this is Big Island Video News. I'm Stephanie Salazar. If you're a Target customer and are concerned your personal information may have been involved in the retail company's massive data breach announced last month, there is a free tool available to monitor your credit. The Hawaii Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs Office of Consumer Protection urged all state residents who shop at Target stores to take advantage of 1 year of free credit monitoring, which is being offered by the company, regardless of whether they've identified suspicious activity in their personal accounts. The data breach happened between November and December of 2013. Hackers reportedly obtained the payment card information of 40 million customers. The stolen information included credit and debit card data, customer names, and PIN numbers. Last week, Target revealed that hackers also stole a second batch of data that included names, mailing addresses, phone numbers, or email addresses for up to 70 million people. Police have located a Kauai High man who was being sought on a grand jury warrant for assault and charged with an additional 23 offenses. 55-year-old Martin Frank Booth was arrested on Thursday. A police media release detailed Booth's alleged list of crimes, starting with a December 18th drug bust at a home where Booth lived in Kauai High. Booth was not home at the time. On December 29th, police again say Booth threatened a woman with a firearm in Captain Cook and fled in a car driven by another woman. The search for Booth ended on January 9th at a home on Luau Drive in Hawaiian Ocean View Estates. He was arrested on Friday and was charged with meth trafficking, 8 counts of promoting dangerous drugs, promoting controlled substances near a school, 3 counts of promoting detrimental drugs, 3 counts of possessing drug paraphernalia, 6 firearms offenses, and terroristic threatening. His bail was set at $266,000. Police say this man is a suspect in the attempted robbery of a HILO bank. It happened at the Territorial Savings Branch on Maka'ala Street on Friday just before 6 p.m. The lone male had entered the bank and produced a note demanding money. He fled the bank without any money and was last seen running toward Pohaku Street. No one was injured during the robbery attempt. Police say the suspect appears to be the same individual who entered the bank earlier in the day to inquire about banking there. He's described as Caucasian, in his mid to late 20s, about 6'1" to 6'2", about 185 to 200 pounds, with short wavy black hair and facial acne. He was last seen wearing a blue and black striped pullover, jeans, and black shoes with red laces. Police say anyone with information on this incident or who may know the identity of the suspect can call these numbers. Military drones could be on the way to Hawaii. A draft environmental assessment on the potential relocation of the U.S. Navy's Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Squadron to Hawaii is up for review. The UAS and about 480 personnel and dependents would be relocated from 29 Palms, California to Marine Corps Base Hawaii at Kaneohe Bay. UAS training would then be conducted over existing military training airspace, and that includes Pohakaloa Training Area. UAS are not new to Hawaii. Marine VMU squadrons have deployed the RQ-7B system to Hawaii in support of training exercises at PTA, with the most recent deployment in January 2011. And the military is also considering the option of relocating the VMU-3 to Pohakaloa instead of Kaneohe. However, the PTA alternative fails to meet 3 of the 4 criterion for the relocation. Meanwhile, the Federal Aviation Administration has announced the selection of 6 institutions to test the unmanned aircraft systems across several states in the U.S., including the state of Hawaii. The University of Alaska was amongst the list of institutions elected by the FAA and will test UAS in 7 climatic zones with test site range locations in Hawaii and Oregon. The military is planning on constructing more landing zones at the Pohakaloa training area. The 25th Combat Aviation Brigade and Army National Guard Hawaii propose to build 4 aviation landing zones and associated trails on the northern slope of Mauna Loa, all within the current boundaries of PTA. Training flights bound for these landing zones would come from Bradshaw Army Airfield on the base. A federal environmental assessment and draft finding of no significant impact has already been published. It was just a few years ago that the Army petitioned the State Department of Land and Natural Resources to conduct high-altitude mountain environmental training, or HAMMET, on Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea in order to prepare for similar terrain in Afghanistan.
It's absolutely critical and life-saving for both our air crews and the thousands of young soldiers, men and women, that will travel in the back of our helicopter. The higher up you go and the higher the heat, the less efficient the engine and the rotor systems are. The handling characteristics of the aircraft are different. And the winds that you encounter whipping through mountainous terrain high up like that are very high and variable. It is essential that air crews learn to operate safely in that type of an environment before they are carrying out combat operations in Afghanistan.
The new landing zones would accommodate Apache, Black Hawk, Chinook, Kiowa Warrior, and Lakota helicopters. The public comment period for the EA began on December 19th and will run until January 18th.
And thanks for checking the forecast right here at KITV.com.
Local TV weatherman Justin Fujioka has joined Governor Neil Abercrombie's administration as press secretary effective January 27, 2014. Fujioka will work alongside other team members who are also stepping into new roles. Christine Hirasa will advance to Director of Communications to oversee all aspects of communications for the executive branch, supported by Keith DeMello, who has been promoted to Deputy Director of Communications. Tyler Cruz will take on additional responsibilities as communications and digital media specialist. Fujioka is a Honolulu native and graduate of the University of Hawaii at Manoa. He has served as chief meteorologist for KITV since 2002.